Hello and good
Hey,
evening, and welcome to the
the
Truth
truth
Behind
behind
the
the
Truth
truth.
pre-holiday show, all right?
Yes.
Or a holiday show. However, I've got my little hat already together.
Mm.
I start celebrating on the first, so want to make everybody feel good and enjoy the holidays. We'll be having our annual Christmas show coming up in a few weeks, so that's going to be exciting. We got some good things planned for that particular show, so that's going to be fun as well. But anyway, so we're glad to see everybody tonight. Thank you for taking the time out to be a part of this wonderful meeting place of information, knowledge, and empowerment, and allowing, giving you the opportunity to know that you are enough in society and finding your authenticity. And as Parnell always says, keep telling you to get the hell out of my business. In the process of that. But yes, a great night. So our regular co-host, Parnell, of course, has been mentioned. He has periodically throughout the season, different times. He had another acting event this evening. So big event here in LA. So he won't be with us. I'm sure he'll probably be back next week. Darnell is under the weather today. But we're sending him good energy and healing vibes his direction so he can regain himself, and be back with us. So he said he may try to make it in, but if he's not talking very well, we would encourage that. Right?
That's right.
So we have the three knowledgeable people in the house today. All right. Wisdom and knowledge, that is for sure. Sandy, how you doing tonight, brother?
Just lovely. And yourselves?
Hey, well, go ahead.
Well,
I'm
feel
excited
good.
for you, but
that too. But I feel good. I feel, I feel a little vindicated because I had, let's just say I went over a mile. Well, let's just say this: I accomplished something that I didn't think was, able to accomplish, or I was able to accomplish.
Okay.
So I'm very happy for myself. I got certified today. I'm actually an official Frito-Lay person, sales rep, and that was something that was very I was tittering a little bit on the edge because I'm, come new jobs, come new challenges.
True.
And
what do you have to do to get certified?
I had to drive, I had to unload, I had to create orders, I had to give away credits, I had to sell myself to all these accounts, basically stores, but it's just doing all of that by yourself. I had a trainer for 4 weeks. He trained me on certain things, how to at least get to certain accounts on time, receive, drop off, merchandise, clean up, organize, and then go back to the warehouse. But for the past few days, I had to do it by myself. But the certification was based on, was I able to do the job? So they graded me on, organization, making sure that I was urgent with whatever I was doing, communication and all that stuff. So it was a lot. I had to, it was from like 3:00 in the morning to almost 2:00 in the afternoon.
Wow.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, I was about to say I am like totally so proud of him and the aspect of accomplishing that, because it's a beautiful thing when you accomplish something like that, and getting in. But as I always tell him all the time, I think that our experiences in life set us up for those opportunities when they come, because we always question, well, why am I doing this, or why am I in this position, or whatever, and we feel like we're not gaining anything from it. But at some point later on, it does come full circle. So I'm really, really excited and thrilled for him, and where this is gonna, take him until the truth behind truth is paying the bills. Okay.
Yeah, that's the truth. And then when that is paying the bills, then I won't have to worry about too much.
Exactly.
But other than that, though, but Thanksgiving was another, it's a, and I'm gonna say this year has been going so fast for those who have been paying attention. I said this around July that we were almost towards the end of this year and coming new year.
Right.
But God, it's just, it feels like these holidays have been just going back and back to back, just fast. And I'm just now trying to catch up with Christmas. I don't know about y'all, but Christmas came too fast for me. How about you, Sandy?
Well, it's not here yet.
I know Christmas and let's just say this, Thanksgiving, but now Christmas is coming.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Now Christmas is coming, but it's coming a little too fast.
Well,
a little too fast.
You know, well, I have to say, you know, and this is my favorite time of year. I love this time of the year. You know, I think that more so because the sense that you have people that are not acting stupid. You know, I mean, just saying, you know, people tend to act like at least they're loving a little bit better, you know, this time of year. So I do love this part of this time of the year and what is. I know for a lot of people, it brings a lot of grief, you know, and you know, I can't apologize for anyone grief, you know, during a particular period of this time, but I do send them, you know, good vibes and energy to, you know, to help them be able to deal with what it does, you know, at this point.
Be the first year my grandma
transitioned
in July.
Absolutely.
It's been the first holiday without her. So yeah, you're right about that.
So, you know, and especially when you tend to someone transitions. And guys, let me be clear to, you know, for me, and I think for us, I don't use the word dead, die, you know, or whatever. I use the word transition because, you know, I started that a long time ago. Typically when my mother transitioned, you know, I was trying to find a way to take the sting out of that word dead, dying, you know, and all, because it just, the word alone just hurts, you know? So I looked at the term of transition and the word transition, it doesn't exclude anybody. So meaning that if you weren't under a certain phase with a certain group of people or whatever the case would be, they couldn't, you know, hone in on you, you know, or whatever, put their little spin on them, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So that's why, you know, and I felt the word transition meant a little bit more comfortable going to the other side or how a person wanted to look at it. So just let me be clarity when I say transition or whatever the case may be. But you aside me to interrupt you about your point about grandmother.
Yeah, but I mean, this will be the first year,
right.
We have celebrated any holiday without her. So.
Exactly.
She transitioned around July, which August would have right before her birthday.
Exactly.
In August, but still though, that's something that's very touchy.
True.
You know.
True. Absolutely. Anytime that happens. Right. So, Sandy, how was your holiday? What did you do for Thanksgiving?
My holiday was fine. I have a transition story.
Okay. Yes, sir.
God is up there in heaven, and he calls down to the devil, and he says, "Hey,
Lord,
do you have an engineer down there?" He said that transitioned a few weeks ago, and the devil says, "Yeah, we do. He's great." And God says, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, he's been fixing everything." He says he's got the heat working. You know, he's putting in air conditioning. We're going to have air conditioning down here. He said the water pressure is unbelievable. He says it's good. God says, no. You got to send him back up here. And the devil says, "I will not." He said, no. You send him back up here. That was a mistake. He's not supposed to be down there. And the devil said, "Absolutely not." God said, "I will sue you." And the devil said, "Oh, really? And where are you going to find a lawyer?"
Wow! What they call a lawyer? Your lawyer that lied.
Oh my God! You know what?
I cannot. Oh wow! Yeah.
Basically, a definitely good spin on that.
Yes, that's a good one right there.
You know, it's interesting when you say about transition, because when I was young, and I remember the words of people passed away or they died or whatever like that, and then funerals, we were always depicted in movies as everybody wearing black and being very somber and stuff like that. And somewhere along the way in my lifetime, it became from where it was that to that it was a celebration of life.
Right, exactly.
Which just was another way for us to deal with it, and you know, your feelings and your emotions towards losing someone, especially a family member or a good friend. But you know, the celebration of life seems to me to encapsulate the transitioning much better than the other part.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And I'm glad that, you know, today's modern culture is going toward that terminology, you know, because you know, we've always looked at death as being very morbid, you know, in and of itself. And it, to the person that's going or transitioning, they're like, "Hey, I'm out of here." You know, I don't have to deal with Biden. I don't have to deal with Trump. I don't have to deal with what's the name? What's the ugly woman name when we talk about all the time? Forget her. Murder Taylor Greene. You know, and all that. I'm just being, you know, humorous about that. But you know, and so you know, I just like to think of it as not as the morbid thing as, you know, has been put over us or put over society for such a long time. And there's a story that I did share about my mom, you know, which actually we will be celebrating her 106th heavenly birthday. But at the time when there's yes, Mom there. So happy birthday, Mom. Was celebrating her 106th. But at the time when she transitioned, it's a great story that I had too much time to talk about tonight, but I did share it at some point in the show, and it really changed my perspective, on how I looked at, transition, or in some cases, to clear the record of death. So, but anyway, so I just look at it different, and I just try to encourage everybody else to try to, to find a good piece with it, because it is something that all of us will experience at some point, hopefully that we'll see a greater good when that time happens. But anyway, so I'm going to dig in real quick. This has been, kind of a challenging week because one of my mentors in ministry, or mentors and preachers that are pastors or whatever that I look up to, transitioned a couple of weeks ago, which most of you, if you are in that realm, Bishop Carlton Pearson. One of the, I think, my opinion, or several people all over this planet, one of the greatest individuals, or you want to say, if you want to extract just even the word ministry away from him, but just a great individual that really cared about humanity, and to the point that would step into the depths of just total being ridiculed, for a shift in beliefs that the Christian community has founded their understanding on, which I think is just like completely unfair, because, anytime that you study, you should be evolving. There should be a better understanding of things. And if you are a person that reads the scripture, or read the Torah, or read the, the Islam, I mean, all of these things, there should be an involvement, within your ranks of spirituality. And we're not naming, or I'm not naming down to a specific religion, but I will have to preface that for what I'm talking about. Yeah. But there's such an inclusiveness of understanding that I believe personally that we are all put on this planet to witness, to be a part of, and accept. Yeah. But the problem is that we can't do that is because of religious practices or beliefs that we have put around the central point of scriptures, or made them become idols, and rather I can appreciate things being sacred, I can, and that whatever, but sacredness, it's like, for instance, if Sandy puts out a specific word, now he can say to his wife or his kids, whatever, this is my sacred word, but your words are going to transition to another point or another level based upon how your children take your word and explain it to people. Okay. So in that transition of change, it's going to change. The understanding is going to change. The way it's being delivered is going to change, because it's going to be said to someone else to help elevate them, so to what has happened in the realm of I'm gonna say Christianity at this point, and where Bishop Pearson came forth 21 years ago, of a complete inclusive way of everybody being on the planet that is under, quote unquote, the Christian belief factor of under the headship of Christ, or whatever, in that aspect. He just simply said that all were saved in Christ. Okay, well, that shocked the Christian community like off the way, because they built their foundation on everybody going to hell. Okay, and then everybody gonna end up hell because, or if they hadn't confessed Christ in the way that they thought, or whatever, everybody ended up in hell. And that's not true. Okay, that is not true, and it's not scripture. And if you want to challenge me on it, hey, you got the number. We'll put it up for you, okay? Because what has happened is that you have set this framework, which came from somebody else's theology back in, I think it was the 17th century, where that theology came from. All right. And it made its way into the Christian community. So you've accepted that, and it made a way, but you've made so many people discomfort about their lives. Just because somebody is not doing what you feel that they do, and then you run through the scriptures to find a way to justify something else different. But we got to go to a quick message. I'm going to finish it out. I don't want to talk about a lot of time, but I just wanted to just celebrate him. And then we will be right back, and I'll touch a couple when we're going to the rest of our topic tonight. But as we go to break, celebrate Mom again, Mom. Happy 106th. And we'll be right back on this break. All right, and we are back, guys. Thank you once again for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth tonight. Before I dig back in, and I'm not going to take too much time on this tonight, but I do want to remind you about supporting us with your contributions. Okay, you can send your contributions to tttbshow@gmail. Excuse me, I'm sorry, and also to be able to obtain. I'm sorry, I got them all mixed up today. I'm thinking about what I want to say. Our cash app is TTDB Show, okay, and also our Venmo is The Truth Behind the Truth. So either one of those platforms, you can feel free to send your contributions to help support, what we're doing and wanting to grow with the show. The other part is you can get your mug. You have two ways to get your mug.
Yes.
You can order your mug, $15.99. Send an email to tttbshow.com, okay, and we will respond to you and get your mug out to you. All right, or you can be part of the contest. If you share 15 likes, I should give us 10 likes or shares, okay, we will send you out a complimentary mug as well. All right, and please just send those to the email address that you see, ttbshow@gmail.com. All right, so back into what I was saying, and then we're going to move on. So the premise here is that what we should be moving forward, which Bishop Pearson so skillfully did, and was to share love. Okay, love is the key element to everything. It changes the framework of life. But the part that I don't understand is that why, as humans, we have such a struggle moving toward the position of love. I do have the answer for that, but I'm kind of throwing it out there as a kind of a question in the air, why we have such a struggle with the aspect of love. Because if you want to look at it from, I think, in every religious practice, wherever it is, maybe Buddha, Hindu, whatever the thing that people are involved in, they all premise everything out of love. They may have different ways of approaching love, but at the end of the day, they all, resign in love.
But that's not the issue. The issue is he exposed a business.
Okay.
He exposed the foundation that keeps a business, like a religion or like anything that keeps going the grain of any organization. Mm-hmm. I don't care if it's government, royalty, religion. If you go against the grain of what's been taught for many centuries, and it's been made, and money has been made because of these, because of these doctrines or scriptures, then there's going to be major pushback.
Right.
And with Bishop, I hate to say it though, but when you're telling people what they thought for many years was a fact, then there's going to be this crucifixion and this situation of you being ousted out and people saying whatever they want to say. I think honestly, the best thing he did was relieve himself from a situation he knew was what we all could, if we had critical thinking skills, is the fact that, even in the Bible, and I don't know, and you have to correct me on this. When Jesus was resurrected, he went to hell and got those who were of the believers out of hell, right? So my thing is, if that was the situation at hand, is there really such a place? Is there really a place? Is that really important to the story? If that is the case, now I'm just saying that to be honest with you, I'm not trying to hold a Bible study, so y'all bear with me because I'm not that, but I've heard that so many times within the church culture of that story. Now, but the facts are the facts. If there is no hell, I think everybody has that type of foundation where we all know we might all go to some place of peace, some place of paradise. Right. I think everybody's obligated. Now, if that's what he believed, that's what he believed. But I think what it was is that, like Princess Diana, when it came down to the royal family, like Martin Luther King, when it came down to the system, when you go up against a mighty, mighty mountain that teaches all of this doctrine and tradition, then there's this major pushback. Even in death, he's getting pushed back because now it's been exposed for what it really is. Right. And I hate to say it, but the right wing of Christianity at this point, I call them the Christo-fascists, they're being exposed right now, not only through Trump, but through the fact that these mega churches, due to the fact that they don't pay taxes, but they're making all types of money. Somebody is making money and they're doing whatever they want to do with it. Now, that's none of my business, but at the end of the day, It's coming off. The wool is coming out of people's eyes at this point, and we're now seeing what it is to have a for what it is that religion is. It's a business. It's a money-making business. Somebody's getting rich. That's all I got to say about that.
Well, very excellently put.
That's, I mean, if it makes sense, but I still think, at the end of the day, these people are going to say whatever they want to say about this man because he exposed, he saw it for himself.
Right.
And he was living that life many years with the Zusha, what he was doing in the 90s, but yes, he's going to get pushed back even in death. So,
yeah. And true that. I think that, here is where we are a society of opinions. And we all have ours. We share them on the show.
And public opinion rules trumps facts.
Yeah,
public opinion trumps facts.
And then that's very sad. I know that this is taking a shift, but Sam, I want to hear your point on that too, real quick. It's just what is your take on the situation? I know you can probably cover the simplest, but the idea of what you just said, pardon the name Trump, but Trump versus facts, meaning that you could be telling people the absolute fact, but they will choose to believe a lie.
Yeah.
Is there a question?
Yeah, no, it was kind of a statement. Just to kind of hear your feedback on the statement that we're making.
What? I'm not sure I understand. You're saying if Trump told the truth.
No, not Trump in general. I'm just talking about I didn't. Just the way that we had to preface the sentence. It didn't mean Trump in general, but we're just saying is that people will gravitate to the wrong rather than experiencing the right. I guess in this case, I'll say it that way.
Well, some will, but not everybody. There's a lot of right doers, and there's a lot of honesty and integrity. But what the stuff that gets exposed is the stuff that isn't that, because that's what sensationalism, and that's when someone wants to point to something that's wrong or whatever like that. But Dylan's saying, did I understand you correctly to say you don't know if there's a hell, or you're not sure, or you don't think there is, or?
Well, we don't know because we never experienced it. I have never seen it.
We know, absolutely. In Florida, it's called Mar-a-Lago.
I can't.
I knew he was going to say that.
And
we're experiencing hell on Earth.
Exactly.
Earth is our hell because we get up every day. We deal with health issues, financial issues. Sure. We deal with all types of anxiety, depression. You're seeing it. You're seeing hell all over the place as we speak. Right. I have experienced this level of hell, but I have never experienced fire, brim, but you know what I'm trying to get at. Right, It's just the fact that people would go to that Christian reference or whatever religious reference that you serve, whatever God that you serve, that you're going to be condemned to hell. That's what society always, you're going to hell. Right. But my thing is, well, how do you know that it has existed? Right. Or have you ever experienced it or seen it? We don't even know how heaven looks. Right. I would love to see it, but experience, but I haven't transitioned yet. Right. And I have never died and came back to life like Nazareth. Right.
Now, wait a second, Dylan. You don't know that. What if this is heaven?
Yeah, you've got an excellent point.
Yeah.
We don't know. And so there's a lot of stuff we don't know, but people fall into place believing what they want to believe.
Yes.
And searching for answers to go, why are things the way they are? But the things you're talking about, life and health issues and work and pressures and stuff that's what life is.
That's
and for some people, we look at other people and we go, wow, they seem to have everything, but we don't know that they have everything because when we see that, wow, they look like they got it made. And then you find out, oh, they got a divorce or there was a death in the family or God forbid they lost a child or, so we don't know, but life. I'm always amazed when people go, well, that's not fair. Life is not fair.
Right.
There's no part of it that says it's fair. And even in the teachings of the Bible and stuff like that, it is what it is.
Yes.
And, I personally don't believe that, God, whatever he is, omnipotent and just can watch, 6-7 billion people on the planet and monitor everything.
Well, You know,
and he's supposed to know before it happens.
Right.
My thing is he's supposed, and that's the thing, and I'm so sorry for cutting you off, but it's just anybody who is ultra religious say God knows. God knew because he created heavens and the earth and man.
Right.
But if something as serious as this war over there and Gaza and Jerusalem, if this has been, and it's been going on for many years, but for centuries, why hasn't anything stopped it? Questions that people like to tell you. You don't question God, but Job questioned God plenty of times. Even Jesus, if you have read the gospel, he questioned God. I question God all the time. Why is life not fair? Why is it that we have to get up and struggle each and every day? What is the purpose of it? I don't get it, but that's the human side of me. That's the side that I would love for to be answered if it's answered.
Well, let me answer you this way, because you started off the program saying that you achieved something by getting your certification, and so if that was just handed to you, would you appreciate it? Would it mean anything to you if you just went, I want to be a Frito-Lay person, and someone just, now you are, poof, the genie. So life is about progression. It's about assertion. It's about what we do, what we want, how we approach it, and stuff like that. And there are challenges along the way. And if there weren't challenges along the way, would we enjoy it and or even appreciate it or understand what it was? And if that's what heaven is, where you get there, everything's perfect, I have trouble believing that too, which is why when there's a joke and God calls the devil to say, oh, there was a mistake, he's not supposed to be there. Well, wait, this is heaven. You're God. How can there be a mistake? Theoretically, there shouldn't be a mistake. It should all be perfect. But, our human side of us says, no, there's mistakes everywhere. It's hard to attribute the things. Right now we're watching Israel and Hamas and a war and people, innocents being killed and go, oh, that's God's plan. I go, I can't blame God for that. I got to blame the people because he gave us free will. So those are those people that want to hate each other and they want to hate on each other, and the Hamas wants to exterminate another group of people. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense.
And true. I mean, it's a well point. I mean, just both of you guys said, and see, this is what I call honest truth behind the truth dialogue. Okay, because this is where you find some of the answers that you are seeking, maybe in your one-on-one meditation or whatever the case may be. And I think that one of the major problems is that we have been conditioned as a society, and then we'll box it into a religion, is that we seek everything outside of us. Because outside of you, it's tangible. You think it's the answer to your, but the true answer is what you guys spoke of. Is within you? Is what you establish within you. It's how you approach it, how you go about it, like you said, Sandy. And those and life in and of itself, call it a heaven experience or a hellish experience. Life is teaching us to be more embracive about ourselves and be able to grow into something. Your experiences that you start out the show with, it has helped you grow into being or manifesting this person that has become more than qualified for the position you carry at the company you work for. So in a nutshell, because we got to move on. We'll let keep talking about this, but we got to move on. Guys, just go within. At the end of the day, and stop allowing somebody to tell you what you need to believe. Okay, Sandy said it best, and it's a true statement here. You are a free-willed nature. You were given a free-willed nature. Nobody has the right to rob you of that free-will nature. I would suggest that you line up yourself with your free-will nature and approach life that way. And I think that you'll come out of being a lot more happy and a lot more healthier about the things that you want to approach for your life. Okay, I know there's more I can dig in, but anyway, I want to salute again Bishop Pearson for all the beautiful work that he did, while he was here,
trying to bring the cultures together.
Absolutely,
he was trying to bring the cultures together, the white and the black, within the religious Christianity sense of the matter, because we have always been in a separate situation. What this man did in the 90s, he came and incorporated a mega church that involved many speakers and singers of any race. And I just want to lift my hands to him and say, you did a job well done. I wish more people would do the same, because we will probably be trying to do what is right for mankind, but people.
Absolutely. Well, that beautifully being said. But again, so we just say as we go to break, Bishop Pearson, we salute you on the other side. We thank you for what you have done and the deposits. And if you want to learn more about Bishop Pearson, you can Google it right on YouTube. You can follow all of his sermons and things like that, and just get a clear understanding of what you think is better for your life. Okay. Right. So we're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk about our wonderful president and see what he's doing in society today. Okay, because Brother Joe's got some stuff going on. So we're going to talk about Brother Joe when we get back. All right. See you in a second.
All right.
All right, guys, and we are back. Thank you once again for tuning in to the Truth Behind the Truth. Tonight, we're sharing more truth, all right? I want to quickly remind you guys to get your mug, your Truth Behind the Truth mug. Just simply send the email, requesting the mug, and we will figure out the pay system for you to be able to do that. $15.99 to get your mug. I send that email to ttbttshow@gmail.com. And if you would like to acquire a free mug, we're asking you to simply submit 10 likes or 10 shares, okay? Mm-hmm. And we will send you out a complimentary mug for that, all right? Okay, so let's move on. We're going to talk about President Biden just a little bit, and, just the success that this man has had undergoing the amount of pressure. We talked about pressure a few minutes ago. I mean, and you can imagine the pressure that President Biden is under, okay? And the scrutiny and all these things that people feel like they know about government and don't know a damn thing. And half of them probably never took a civics class, okay? You know what I mean? Never took a political science class, but they know everything and tell you how the government should be run on their behalf, for their situation. So let me say this real quick, and then we can chime in on. So his accomplishments. First of all, I hear people all the time talking about, well, the economy is in a bad position. Well, the economy has just, and the report just came out, didn't it grow? I think, Sandy, you might have heard something like 3% is up greater now in the economy than it was a year ago.
All the numbers are up. Unemployment is down. Productivity is up. I mean, it's amazing what he's done and what people forget all the time. And when we talk to people and they say things and you go, and we were talking about in the pre-production meeting,
Right.
And I wanted to bring this. When anybody that's ever been on a cruise, you'd be going this giant ocean liner, and if there's an accident and someone falls over, it takes that ship several hours to turn around.
Right, exactly.
By the time it slows down, it gets, to go try and rescue that person. And the American economy is the same way. When one president puts something into action, it doesn't happen the next day. It takes years for all the effects of that to happen. So, Trump rode the wave of Obama and all the things he did. And then he started to, cut taxes for the rich. And that raised our debt, and he had the highest debt. And so Biden is saddled with that. And now Biden's trying to undo the things Trump did and correct the problems, and not to mention we had COVID, which, I'm not going to blame Trump, but I'm going to say he didn't handle it correctly or didn't handle it very well. So you're in a situation where Biden is doing a lot of wonderful things for the country. This infrastructure bill, which people go, well, what has Biden done? I was talking to a woman not too long ago, and she kept saying, I want someone who can get out of the room. So Biden was on stage somewhere and he walked to the wrong place. Big deal. Who amongst us hasn't made a mistake? And is that what you're going to vote for, make your vote on? That a guy went to the wrong exit because he travels all the time and he goes to a zillion places. So, to me, I think we have to be a little bit more patient. And no matter who the president is, no matter who the president is, over the life of being the president, they get the blame. That's why, what's his name, had the buck, Harry Truman said, the buck stops here. Because when you're the president, half the country likes you and half the country doesn't, and the half that doesn't wants to blame you for whatever it is, whether you're Republican, whether you're Democrat. And this is your fault. This is his fault. He didn't do this. She, and eventually there'll be a she didn't do this, because that's the function. We can blame her for everything.
Exactly.
But what the American people, what we need is, and I hear it all the time that he's not doing what is needed. But as for Americans, we're always wanting to see something tangible, something that is in front of our eyes that seems like it looks like growth.
Right.
It looks like, something that is instant to the point that, oh my God, it is happening right in front of my eyes. The growth in, I'm making more money. I'm buying my house. I can afford the rent. I can afford the food. I think with Biden and most presidents before him, they lost that Franklin Delano Roosevelt magic called the fireside chats. And that was a fireside chat. I think it when he would get on the radio and talk to the American people about their accomplishments during the Great Depression before World War II, the Roosevelt New Deal planning and all that stuff. Americans during that time, during that era was feeling down. They lost everything. People lost a lot of stuff during the Great Depression. But when he came on the scene, they started to see little by little what they needed for them to keep pushing, to keep moving. And I think with most presidents after him, including Biden, they lost that magic that he had in the 30s and 40s, which almost garnered him about 4 terms. He died. He died on the 4th term, right? Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So I'm just saying that magic that most presidents, during that time period, I just feel like they lost that for the American people. The American people don't believe in our presidents anymore. Now, I mean, you might believe in a Trump if you love Trump, or believe in Obama. I think that's the last time we actually believed in somebody was Obama. I hate to say it in a positive way. Right. We really believed that change was on its way, was coming. Even when, when Reagan was president, a lot of people believed that, growth and change was coming. It felt like things were happening in the 80s. But it's just the fact that I think with Biden, he just needs to, we just got to see something that we can touch.
Well,
I think that's what it is.
I would submit this. I think that, and you and I were discussing this the other day, and of course, submitted for you guys to kind of look at it as well. I just think that where we are with the visual negative, that's
too much visual negative.
It's too much visual negative out there. And I really would like to see him be on the forefront himself, promoting more of what he has accomplished and what he's planning to accomplish, and talking, as you said, that the fireside chat, even though people don't understand the fireside chat.
No, that was a radio program.
But I know, I'm just saying for that same motive. As to really kind of getting out there. Maybe we just hey, interrupt a show once a week or something. Say, hey, I'm here. We're doing this. Got that going on, and then keep it moving. But I think that since we are such a visual communities, and then people want to see visual things happening, as your point, maybe if we see him a little bit more visual, on just different periods of time, and really kind of move in that direction and speaking to what he's done, I think the shift might happen. You never know till you put it out there,
But he did accomplish the situation with the situation the conflict in Jerusalem and God.
Right.
He's got at least some of the hostages, and I don't know if it was somebody that he chose to go over there and get them out, but that was something that a lot of people was looking for him to do.
Right.
It was like, can you send somebody over there to get my family out of a situation that they didn't need to be in, and that was something I think a lot of people tend to have forgotten, because that has been covered up over on the news. The mainstream media is not good about covering news cycles of that. Well, they covered it a little bit, but then you got other stuff going on, which is ridiculous. That was more important than the fact that there were people coming, that there were hostages that were being released from the Hamas. So I'm just saying, those coverages, I think he needs somebody or himself to say, listen, this is what's going on, and this is what I was able to do. I said this when he couldn't get the student loan debt down. I said, this is the worst thing that could have ever happened, because he pushed that. He pushed that. He gave younger people this belief that, okay, he's coming to get rid of our debt. So now we can start all over again with our lives and be on a better standing. But when it didn't go through, a lot of young Americans, especially my age, felt like, damn, so there is no change coming. Well, and some of us knew that was never going to happen. We knew that was not going to happen because the Congress, the Senate, and the Supreme Court was going to fight that regardless. They were going to fight it. But those who don't understand the nature of the beast was believing in Biden to do that for them, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
But Dylan, you're saying that he didn't do it, but he not only did he try, but he got rid of a lot of debt. He didn't do everything he wanted, but he was able to eliminate a lot of student debt, billions of dollars. So he didn't do it 100% because Congress stopped him, or the court said you can't do that, or the wealthy are going, no, that's how we make our money, is screwing students and putting them in hock for the rest of their life. But he got rid of a lot of debt for a lot of people.
And that's where that PR team from the Democratic Party, they lost the ball. They lost. They didn't further explain it to those that needed it to be explained to. You know what I'm saying? I keep saying about the Democratic Party, they have a bad PR team. It's not like, the Republicans that keep this ball going. I call it the propaganda ball, where it just keeps rotating all the time, the spinning and all this crazy narratives that are just keep going and going and going. I just wish sometimes with the Democrats, they could keep the narrative, like you said, about the fact that he was able to get rid of some of the debt, but he was not going to be able to get rid of all of it. But the fact is that they needed to further explain it to those young people who didn't understand the situation and where it was going, or where it has been going. So because they're still trying to fight it in some form or fashion.
So what would be our, using this particular subject, what would be, I think, our point for him to, do we think that he needs to revisit it again, or is it that he just kind of throws his hand up and walk away from it because it didn't happen?
Well,
now, but here's the thing, and then I'm going to throw this, just drop this little nugget in here. The one reason why they this group of people that like that orange-faced man, is because he didn't like to take no for an answer. Okay? So his motive was, if he would have gotten, gotten the pushback, which he probably wouldn't have, but the pushback for the student loan, and he was told no, we weren't going to do it.
He would have executive
ordered it. So
yes.
because of that, because of that precedence that he set out there, this is why people, the younger group of people, and the ones that are gravitating more toward him, is because they feel like that he was able to override what was coming through from Congress or whatever the case may be.
There were lawsuits against him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's something that we kind of need to explore a little bit. Sandy, you want to elaborate on that just a little bit?
Well, there's so many things to elaborate on, but what we tend to forget is everybody's focused on what works for them. So if you're a student, debt, you're going, oh, that's really important to me. But you have a president of the United States that goes, well, let's see, I'd love to do that, but I got someone fighting me on it. But while they're fighting me on that, I'm also trying to pass an infrastructure bill. While I'm trying to do that, I've got to get our folks out of Afghanistan. While I'm trying to do that, I've got to take care of this situation that's just come up in Israel. While I'm trying to do that, there's a hurricane that wiped out a country or an area, of the world, and we've got to send aid. While I'm trying to do that, I've got to deal with forest fires. While they're trying to do that, and I'm the president, and I get all these things thrown at me, and so. But the people that live where the forest fires are going, the president needs to do something. But the truth of the matter is the president can only do so much. And then he's always in a situation where the American people have made the government 50-50, half Republican, half Democrat in the Senate, in the House, and they're out there fighting. And then you get this war in the House where we didn't even have a leader and they couldn't do anything for 3 weeks.
Well.
And you go, so you want to blame Biden for your student debt? And you go, the Republicans kept Congress from being functioning for 3 whole weeks while they went through this and got rid of McCarthy and stuff like that. So, look, you can go on and on, but go back to the fireside chat for a moment, Dylan. And the reason we don't have the fireside chat is because in those days, there was no internet there weren't 200 cable channels, plus all kinds of stuff like that. So he was able to talk to the American public, and there were a handful of things, and they put them on, and you go, oh, I'm going to listen to them because that's all that was available to me. But now, if Biden, or even when Trump was president, did a fireside chat, the other side comes in and goes, you know what I think he's this, and so everybody's got an opinion. Everybody can tweet, and everybody can post, and they can go on Instagram, and they go on Facebook, and they can tell you what they think. And so there is no place of dissemination that you go, oh, that's where it is. The Walter Cronkite's gone. So the guy who the truth of America, and you believed him. We don't believe anybody anymore. And Trump's out there telling us it's all fake news. So as soon as anybody believes that, if 2% thought it was fake news, but you got 40% of the country goes, oh, it's all fake news. So then you got the other side going, no, it's real news. But then you start to go, well, when you hear things, how bad is it? We don't know. Right. And when you have when Biden passed this infrastructure bill for $1.2 trillion, which the numbers are almost, it sounds easy at $1.2 trillion, but you go, how much money is that? And he wanted so much more than that. And every Republican voted against it. But what did they do after it passed? They went back to their district and said, all this money's coming. Really going to help you out. You know, give me your vote. I got this done. And you go, your people are full of shit. You didn't do anything except vote against it. But now you want to get credit for it.
That's so true.
But, I was about to say, as the American people, please get involved. Understand that you got a local, state, and federal situation, and you just need to know what's going on in your backyard.
Gotcha. But we got to go to a quick break. We will be right back with more of this discussion. Amen.
You want to.
All right, and we are back, guys. Thank you so much once again for joining us on The Truth Behind the Truth tonight. It's been a good, lively conversation thus far, so we're going to keep it going. All right, we do want to take a moment again to, I know we started out the show talking about transition and what have you, so we do have to mention former First Lady Rosalynn Carter and her transitioning and the celebration of life that we all experienced. So, we salute her for all of her accomplishments, and she was an advocate for mental wellness, so much. I think her research and her books and things like that really need to be flooded in society today, because the mental illness that is happening right now is just unbelievable. I mean, it really is. So if there's a way that we can get her information out there a little bit stronger so these people can start addressing their issues, because it's really taking a turn for a real challenge, with mental health. I mean, and that we've done shows on that. We need to probably revisit that again, which we will at some point. But I just want to send a salute to her as well, and all she accomplished while she was present with us here. The other thing I want to mention real quick is, we talked
funeral.
Yeah, the derogatory remarks. I know we've been talking about that, throughout the show, from Bishop Pearson and different ones have said it. Yeah, you know what? I wasn't gonna go ahead tonight. Y'all need to grow the fuck up. I'm just gonna say it. Really, all of these unnecessary.
The humanity has turned into a ghetto of negative people.
Wait, that's true
about funerals.
But hold on. But realistically, I mean, why would you even put something out there? Okay, so this man, I'm talking about President Carter. Yes, he is in his transition stage. Okay, he's been transitioning for quite a few months, and surprisingly, she went before he did. Okay, but he wanted to be at his wife's celebration. Okay, these people just consistently mocked how he looked. The man is 99 years old. Okay, let's just hope the heck, I was going to say the other word we don't talk about. Hope the hell that you make it to 80 years old, most of y'all. Okay, and then you're going to talk about how he looked and how he was. I'm like, really?
They ain't going to make it.
And probably not at the end of the day. But it should just be a damn shame, for you to even take the gumption to even mention the things that you did about how he looked. All right, but anyway, I'm doing my race. Go ahead,
but I didn't say this though. To be honest with you, the only person that confused me of just being there in the first place was Melania. That girl did not want to be at no funeral. Now you know what?
Now, we want to talk about something. That's what we talking about.
She didn't want to be at that funeral. Melania was so out of place. What? And she was so out of mind and out of sight of what she was doing. I think she was like, now, I understand my husband's still trying to be president, but this is not what I planned my day to be. Now I got to sit through a long service with people I don't even know or care about. And the fact that, it just see stuff like that, you think, my goodness. But the fact that people talk about Jimmy Carter, and there are evil. Right. The internet is an evil place. Right. I ain't gonna lie. The Twitter and everybody on it is just evil in some form. Not everybody's evil. I ain't gonna try to, but it's just the fact that people, when you talk about somebody who's 99 years old who has outlived your faves. Wow. I ain't trying to be funny, but if he has outlived your faves, he has did something right on this side of life. Right. A man has been doing everything underneath the sun to help human beings. He has built homes and did whatever, and then on top of that, he has been one of those people who, in his community, who has supported his church. Yes, and that's the thing. Their marriage, they've been married for such a long time. 77 years. Yeah, 77 years, and that right there is an accomplishment. Right. You came and you have people who won't even last for 4 to 5 months. Nowadays,
4 to 5 hours. What you talking about?
Oh, well, there you go. Go ahead.
I'm not saying it makes, but and back to that Melania point, it was clearly obvious. Okay, that number one, even when she was in president, when her husband was whatever he was, that she was out of place. I mean, she was just out of place. No agenda, nothing at all, no supportive point. It was like, why are you even there? Why are you even carrying that title? Okay, hey, look, you just about to surrender. Just get a title back, and just say somebody was there. But anyway, go ahead, Sandy.
I don't know what you want me to say. Yes. What did she look out of place? Sure, but what was her alternative: stay around Mar-a-Lago or a place in New Jersey with Trump. And she goes, "Oh, an opportunity to get out of here."
I would love to hear the conversations between her and Michelle if there is a conversation. Like, girl, do you really want to be here? No, he made me be here. He making me because of the fact that he wants to be president. We all know this. And really, we could, I just would love to hear if they have conversations like that.
I just don't see a conversation between her and Michelle at all. I don't see her conversation with anybody.
You never know. You never know.
I mean, you never know. I mean, it may be happening, but I just can't see it. I'm sorry. I don't, I didn't think she was wise enough to have that kind of conversation. But anyway,
you never know.
Real quick before we could go, I know you're about to say something, Sandy. Did I cut
go
you
ahead,
off?
Sandy. Go and finish. I'm so sorry.
No. Look, Rosalind Carter she came into this world and left it a better place.
Yes, she did.
Her 99 years making it a better place. And she and her husband got a bad rap, when he was in office for inflation and stuff like that. Not all their fault. He worked vigorously behind the scenes to get the hostages released.
Yes.
And a lot of people think that it was Reagan that did it, but now we find out later in history that it really was Carter, that he was possessed by that and spent time doing that as opposed to trying to campaign and, get another 4 years. He thought that was the most important thing. So we find out all these years later what an honorable, venerable soul he was and how much he's done for humanity and Habitat for Humanity and other people, and his wife with mental health and stuff like that. And those are the kind of people ultimately that you want to have in the White House. But when we had them, we didn't appreciate them.
That's true.
We still don't appreciate them, Sandy. We don't appreciate anything but what is negative with the world. That's what makes the world go around, negativity. Right. I hate to say it like that, but I
don't
wish
think it's making it go around.
It's making it go around in the worst way.
Dylan, you're getting on the negative side, and you go, look, you achieve something. You achieve something by aspiring to do something and getting a job.
I know.
So there's good in the world, but there's also bad in the world. And those of us that want good have to fight for it. And that's part of the challenge of life.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. That's so true.
Right.
I
behind the truth.
Right. I totally agree. Yeah, it's so easy to follow that because, as you know, we do make it a practice not to look at that part of the things that are happening in society. Because I always say, and just as we close here, I always say that the planet is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Okay, it's the humans that inhabit this planet are not doing.
It's making it a ghetto.
They're
making it a ghetto.
Be as it may, But anyway, but as we talked about tonight, guys, this has been a very
good Sandy, a cockeyed optimist. That's a cockeyed optimist, Sandy. I appreciate you with that, and it has made it better. Go ahead.
But it has been definitely a conversation tonight, of challenge and things like that. We just challenge you to do better, okay? At the end of the day, if you see something you don't agree with, it doesn't require your voice to put on and to make it a situation even more challenging, okay? Be the person that's going to put a spin on it to make it right, okay? At the end of the day, find a way to make it right. Push out of your egotistical mindset and put the good in the universe so that we can start seeing the manifestation of that, on the planet. Guys, thank you again for being a part of the Truth Behind the Truth tonight. Remember all of those points that we put out to you, like your Cash App, your support, and all that good stuff. We'll see you here again next week on the Truth Behind the Truth. Good night.
Good night.